the character, he makes you laugh. You know, he's like Johnny Carson of killing people. He'll like give you a nice little one-liner and then slice you. Hellraiser, it's too like weirdly like sexual. So even if he's not good, he's got it. He's got greatness inside of him. We just got to milk it out of him, literally, Steve.
The heir apparent, yeah. We gotta milk his huge dong once he becomes a fully grown.
This is like straight out of high school. He's got like 8 candy bars in his hand. He's just munching on them. And Drew's like, "Hey man, are those my candy bars? Are those my best candy? Are those my personal candy bars?" He's like, "No."
Nope.
Happened in the 90s.
In the pantheon of horror monsters, where would you place Chucky?
Entertainment wise, I mean, he's definitely top 3.
Top 3.
If we're talking scary, he's not scary in any way, but just in terms of overall, to me, in terms of entertainment value, it's Freddy.
For sure.
Then Chucky. Most of them don't even talk. You're not getting a lot out of Mike Myers and stuff. So Chucky's up there, Steve.
Chucky's above Jason too, huh?
Yeah, I think so. In terms of entertainment, I mean, Jason, you love seeing a guy just chop a kid in half at camp, but he's not saying a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he's a mama's boy. So he's kind of a nerd if you really think about it. But I'm a mama's boy, so I don't know what that really means.
And so is Mick Foley.
I mean, Mama Mick. I wonder what Mama Foley was like. Just a sweet old lady, or was she just like throwing tacks on the floor? Like, get on them. Jump on them, Mick. Toughen up.
That's my baby. Always falling on tacks.
Always bloody.
But yeah, dude, charisma, that's what does it for me too when it comes to those monsters, because Jason and Mike, they don't really have personalities. You just kind of slowly prodding. And I never understood, like, how are these slow moving monsters like getting at you guys? Like, you're stumbling over shit, imaginary shit. You're like going upstairs. That's what always killed me. You're going to an unescapable situation. Like, instead of like being out in the open outdoors and shit, you're going upstairs and locking yourself into a small room. Good luck.
I mean, shit, at least go on the roof. Get out a window and go on they're always like in a closet just waiting to get chopped up. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like the zombie thing. At least zombies, there's a bunch of them. So it's like the idea is eventually you're just going to get like overwhelmed and you're just not going to be able to get away. But if it's just one dude who's power walking at you, cardio up, like, I mean, you don't even have to jog the whole time to, you know, get a quarter mile down the road, slow down a little bit. He's not running. He can go halfway across the world. He can't. Maybe he can walk underwater. I think he can. He was born of the water, Steve, if you remember correctly. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of these kids, they're just all sexed up. They're post-nut and they're a little exhausted.
And that's probably another reason why Freddy's the GOAT, because he's the most convincing as far as like making you get scared.
Yeah.
He not only has the one-liners, but his shit looks legitimate. Like, he still to this day as an adult, his stuff like sometimes still scares me, man. I was scared of the Chucky stuff back in the day, but like watching it now, it's pretty comical.
Oh my God. Yeah. Total flip, because I was the same way. He freaked me out. My sister showed it to me, freaked out. I think it was also because you had so many toys around as a kid. It was kind of freaky to think like one of them comes alive and starts murdering. It's pretty freaky.
You're being terrified from a motherfucker where you could just be like, man, get your...
At which they do. That's the other thing I love about Chucky. It inevitably, the solution is just pick him up and yeet his ass across the room a little bit. That's how you get rid of him. It's the equivalent of like just putting your hand up against somebody's shore and just holding them at bay, you know?
Sebastian Janikowski, that mother.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, Freddy, he was so entertaining to me as a kid. Like, I was scared of Freddy, I guess, a little bit, because there's some freaky stuff, like the deaths and stuff, but the character, he makes you laugh. You know, he's like Johnny Carson of killing people. He'll like give you a nice little one-liner and then slice you. Hellraiser, it's too like weirdly like sexual, where it's like, all right, dude, like, you don't need to throw that in. I don't need bloody nipples and you talking about the feelings inside as you're killing a guy with some chains, you know?
It's boring. Hellraiser's boring.
Then they'll just throw a weird looking monster at you, and though like his army just looks like the special kids. Are you in the lifestyle? No.
Hellraiser, yeah. So Hellraiser's like Raven of monsters.
Yeah, dude. Just straight in his feelings, just sad. Chucky, I mean, he might be the most entertaining, especially when you get to these older ones where they started like going heavy into more of like the comedy and over the topness. Because the first few, that was like scary, you know, like there was like a tone to it. And like the later ones, I mean, it's as much a comedy as it is anything.
This is Steve G and Matt G, What Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Pearl Jam and your NBA Jam and let us touch you tonight. Touch you right now.
I'll be Steve. You don't got the unibrow for it, Steve. You got to grow that out a little bit.
Today, my friend, we're talking all things October 16th in the 90s. Candyman.
Stop!
Starting off in 1990, I'll be sure to release Private Times and the whole nine. I enjoyed this. There were no breakout singles, but it's got that 90s vibe. You can't go wrong.
I mean, this is a straight fuck sesh CD. Yeah. It's not the Orig. The Orig has the hits, Steve. Night and Day, dude. I still rock that. I'm in here just lifting weights to I'll be sure sometimes. Bing, bing, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so you don't get that. But there's definitely some baby making songs in this. But then it gets a little suspect at the end. There's a song that I pointed out to you. You Excite Me. And I don't know. Just the way there's like a him talking about inside of himself and then a guy moaning. I didn't appreciate it. It was a confusing song, Steve.
It's about self-love.
I know all about that. But
Don't we
yeah, I mean, I'll be sure before there was Anthony Davis, Steve, I think this was the guy sexing people up with a unibrow. Can rock an oversized suit like a motherfucker. I wish I had the steez. Because I don't think he's necessarily the most handsome guy. I guess you take the unibrow out of it, he's pretty cool looking, but he's got the voice, Steve. How I feel about you. What was your favorite song on it, though, Steve? Did you have a fave on this new one, on this new joint?
Touch you tonight.
That's a pretty... I mean, there is a Hotel California cover, Steve, also.
That's the first song.
Yeah, and I think they have a remix to that song as well at the end of it. I'm thinking Channel J was actually my favorite. It's near the end. There's a couple of bangers near the end I think you got to check out. But if you've never listened, I'll be sure, go back to I don't know if it's his first one, but it was in the 80s. The one with Night and Day.
I believe that was his first one.
Yeah. Go back to that first, then check this out. And if you got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, what have you, throw it on. Get the thugs in. Right?
Plugs in. Okay, sure. In 1992, Candyman premieres. The Candyman, a murderous soul with the hook for a hand, is accidentally summoned to reality by a skeptic grad student researching the monster's myth. Directed by Bernard Rose, starring Virginia Madsen, Tony Todd, Xander Berkeley, and Kazi Lemons.
This was a thing. Candyman was like one of the horror guys for a while, you know, Bees, Hook.
He's up there.
I feel like he's got a pimp ass suit other than the bloody stump Hook. When I watched it again, it used to freak me out. But this is another one. And Steve, maybe it's Clive Barker because he wrote this. I don't know. I don't think he directed it, but overt sexuality to this one too. So maybe it's a Clive Barker joint.
And this is possibly one of those examples where now that I'm adult, I'm realizing maybe Candyman wasn't such a bad man because he was a descendant of a slave who was murdered or marrying a white woman and conceiving with a white woman.
They cut the motherfucker's hand off. They covered his ass in bees too.
Covered them in bees.
Come
So
on, y'all. Fucking hateful motherfuckers. But he gets his revenge, Steve. And then he becomes kind of like a Tinkerbell of Chicago, where you got to believe. And if you don't, he starts getting a little pissy about it. Because basically we start this movie off and there's this, I don't remember, her name's Helen, I think. White chick, college student, not even a journalist, Steve. She's doing a research paper.
yeah.
About how the Candyman is like sort of used by the community. It's like an urban legend in the black community in Chicago that they use as like a scare tactic, basically. I think that's basically the gist of her paper. But she drags a friend into this, starts interviewing people about Candyman to the point, Steve, she's going to the hood.
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
She's going to project buildings and just walking around lackadaisically like she can't be touched.
Like she's not a white woman, a petite white woman, and she's just possessed by this mystique, this myth of Candyman.
People leave candy like as a respect to him in the projects, but he's just like this myth. You know, if you do something, Candyman's gonna come get you. You go here, Candyman's gonna come get you. He's like the boogeyman of Southside Chicago, basically. And like Steve said, we find out it basically Candyman was a slave that, or like a freed slave that was married a white woman. Was found out he was killed awfully. So he's like haunting Chicago. This woman is on a quest to find him. And I like in this movie also, Steve, like at some point, because I mean, I was high as fuck watching this. She's going through and you think it's an urban legend. But then she starts meeting people. They're like, who, Candyman? Shit, he lives over here. Like the kid she meets, he's like, yeah, he's like right over here.
Yeah. I just saw him at the bodega buying Black and Mild.
Yeah, he's just chilling, man. Hold on. Let me go just make a connection real quick. So she gets into the projects. She starts connecting with people, starts finding out all this myth. Her husband is like sort of a wily professor at her college. There's allusions to him fucking students, which we'll get to later. She basically finds Candyman's apartment. I don't know. Takes a bunch of pictures, realizes she's being haunted by Candyman, and then starts being like, not possessed, but she has like dreams of him. Where he's like, Helen, you must come to me, Helen. That's where I'm saying the Clive Barker-ness of it. There's a lot of weird, like, romantic shit going on between Candy. He wants Helen. And I think it's because Helen represents the wife he lost, Steve. Maybe.
Yeah, it's full of twists and turns. It's suspenseful. And I really didn't like the husband. I was waiting for him to meet his maker.
Because basically what happens is Candyman starts talking to Helen in like dreams and stuff. And he's like, well, you're like revealing all this and making my myth less powerful. So blood's got to be spilled. So he'll keep saying that. Helen like blacks out, wakes up, and there's a bunch of blood. There's dead people. So she's being like framed by Candyman for murders. And at one point she's committed. Her husband, the teacher, seems kind of messed up by it. She's put into like a mental institution, gets out, comes back home. Her husband's already hooked up with a tenderoni from college that he's been banging. She's repainting the house, Steve. At the end of this movie, basically what happens is Helen, through all this craziness, one of the killings that she did, there was like a lady who had a baby in this project building. I can't remember her name. And at one of the blackouts, Helen wakes up in this lady's apartment covered in blood. Turns out she's decapitated this woman's dog and from all accounts has stolen the woman's baby. So that's when she gets committed into the hospital or whatever. But there's a missing baby in this, like for the last half of this movie, that the Candyman's like sort of holding hostage. So at the end of this movie, this project building's been building up like a bonfire pile of wood and shit to burn for some celebration. Candyman gets Helen in, like, transports her into the middle of this like pile of wood where the baby's being hidden, and everyone in the project sees Helen in there, thinks she's Candyman, sets it ablaze, Steve. So Candyman kills Helen, gets killed in the process, but Helen saves the baby. And by the end of the movie, I think what happens is Helen turns into Candyman, because the I don't know if you watched this, Steve, but the husband got his.
Yeah,
he got
his. Yeah.
And so did the ditzy chick that he was with, because the shit was on the outs for that anyway.
1995, the Million Man March takes place in Washington, D.C. We were in 7th grade at the time, and this was big news. Minister Farrakhan, he was the key component in making this event happen. And it was just some positivity. Like, I think we needed to see that, especially for the Black youth, man, just to experience that. Like, I wish I would have went with somebody like, my grandpa or something like that. But they revisited that in the 2010s, I think.
Did you know anybody that went at all?
No, not at all, man.
I mean, it was a huge thing for sure. I mean, I'm a white dude, so like I knew more about it as an adult, like once you like read about it more and stuff. But why do people hate Farrakhan so much? Is it because he doesn't like Jewish people? Because he's part of this, but I feel like that guy has like a stink on his name, or it's like, like I know he's Nation of Islam or whatever.
Yeah.
So I know they have some like radical beliefs and stuff, but this is huge. And I don't feel like this gets attached to his name as much as like some bad stuff.
And well, the bad stuff is like misconstrued anyway, because he's spoken out about him not even being an anti-Semite.
Probably just some political shit where it's like they're just trying to keep somebody with a voice down. But I just always thought that was weird, because he is part of like a lot of big, like very positive things like this. Yeah. But at least from an outsider, it's like you just hear a lot of stuff and it seems to be more negative. But there was a lot of like powerful people. Wasn't Rosa Parks part of this too? Like she did speeches.
Yeah, she was at the original.
And I think Jesse Jackson was at the original too. I mean, Jesse Jackson kind of gets in all these things. Yeah, man, huge. And I think it was also like when you read about this, I think something so stupid, it's more of like a modern thing, is like instead of focusing on like how cool it was or like the powerful stuff being said at it, the media chose to be like, well, it wasn't technically a million. It was more, like there was like a lot of like like discussion about how many people were actually at this thing. Like,
yeah, any way to find a slight on it, man.
Yeah.
Purposefully, that following year, the exact same day, Get on the Bus premieres. A disparate group of African-American men travel by bus to Washington, D.C. for the Million Man March, directed by Spike Lee, starring DeAndre Bonds, Andre Brower, Thomas Jefferson Boyd, Albert Hall, Hill Harper, Harry Lennox, Bernie Mac, Wendell Pierce, Roger Guenveur Smith, Isaiah Washington, Ozzie Davis, Charles S. Dutton, and Richard Belzer.
You did say Bernie Mac, right?
I did say Bernie Mac.
Light skin from Spike Lee. He's up in it.
Guy from The Wire.
Yeah, dude. But I forget his name in The Wire. I don't want to fucking mispronounce it. Richard Belz is in this. If you were a black celebrity in the 90s, this is it. This is a huge one. And this is filled with legends. I don't think I've seen this, though, Steve.
I remember seeing it once, and it's not available on any of the streams currently, but it was pretty interesting, man. The main subject of the movie is them making it to Washington, D.C., but along the way, you get to hear everyone's story. Each one is pretty interesting. It's like each one has their own chapter in a way.
A lot of cool facts about this too, where Spike Lee couldn't get this finance like traditionally. So I guess like a lot of high level black celebrities finance this movie, which that's pretty fucking cool, honestly. What I'm reading, Danny Glover, Wesley Snipes, Johnny Cochran, Steve, giving up some funds. I like that. I don't know who Robert Guillaume is. Who's that?
Vincent. That's the voice. That's the original voice of Rafiki. He was Vincent, like the butler from like the 70s, 80s show.
Okay. And then Will Smith also was involved in that too. So a lot of people making this happen. another Spike Lee joint. It's great that he directed this. There's like a lot of different techniques too. Like Spike Lee, he's got his own shots and stuff, but it looks like they use a lot of like camcorder footage and stuff in it too. Like it's like people taping it, the experience and stuff, which is kind of cool. I like that.
You could say Spike Lee was crowdsourcing before GoFundMe, because he did the exact same thing with Malcolm X, and he was crafty about it. He basically had Magic Johnson make a donation, and so he called Michael Jordan, and he knows how competitive Michael is. So he told him, like, hey, man, Magic Johnson, he put in this much. So, of course, Mike has to up it. Well done, Spike. Well done. But
yeah, Magic was saying you're a cheap piece of shit that would never donate more than him. It's crazy, right?
He said you're a sellout. Also in 1996, Arliss is airing Season 1, Episode 10, The Stuff That Dreams Are Made Of. Arliss tries to find a way to help his aging, hapless childhood sports idol return to glory.
Don't meet your heroes, Steve.
That's what they say.
And, you know, apropos to the guy in this episode starts at a horse track of all places, Steve. Not the classiest place. Maybe. I guess if you own a horse, which Arliss does. But he's got the group watching the races. I'll say one thing, Steve. Kirby's saying that's not a herpes sore, but I don't know.
That's a bum buck for sure.
That shit on his lips got some shit on his lips. Yeah, so Kirby's sporting a herpes sore, but he's saying he got roughed up by his girlfriend, which we'll get to. They're sitting here watching the horse races. Arliss's horse, apparently the one he owns, not the next Seabiscuit, Steve.
Arliss, his horse loses. Come to find out, Kirby, he picked another horse, and the horse Arliss picked, he was talked into it by Kirby.
Yeah, and Kirby's like, yeah, I mean, I know how fast that horse is. I'm not betting on that shit. But I do like he loses the ticket and has to like crawl around on the ground to find his ticket, which is very pathetic. And I feel like you might see that a lot at a horse track, Steve.
As Arliss is talking to Kirby, he spots Rocky Formaggio, Arliss's idol growing up. And Rocky Formaggio, he's played by the late, great Ken Howard, who a lot of people might remember from The White Shadow, which is a great show from the 70s, 80s. It's every episode is available on YouTube, but shout out to White Shadow.
White Shadow, dude.
Oh, it's amazing, man. Ken Howard, he plays this retired basketball coach, and he's coming back to coach the youth, the black youth in inner city Los Angeles. And yeah, man, it's just classic. It's very after school special like. But anyways, in this, Ken Howard plays Rocky Formaggio, and Arliss used to pattern his whole baseball game after him. The same swing, the way he approached the batter box, the way he held his cup between pitches.
All of it. He's a stand, Steve, to use modern terminology. This guy, he's coming in his pants just looking at him. And then when the horse race is over, he's like, man, I'm going to hang out with Rocky Formaggio. And Kirby's like, just go check the bar. You'll find him there. So Arliss goes to the bar. And Formaggio, if nothing else, Steve, this guy is a great storyteller.
Yeah.
He comes in, he's like, I'm bottom of the ninth. I'm on cocaine. I'm seeing 3 balls. I hit them all. Grand slam. You know, he's one of those guys.
He's giving me Pete Rose vibes. I feel like everywhere Pete Rose went, he's got to leave you a story. Kind of like a Ric Flair, probably the same vibe. Yeah, me in 78, me and Steamboat. Yeah, then in 80, me and Harley Race, and woo!
We see the guy playing the Philly Frenetic. We all tag team this chick in the back. It is what it is. He had a great life, Steve, but now Formaggio, it doesn't seem like it's great because he's at a horse track getting boozed up. You know what I mean? Shit's not going good.
Arliss, that's his idol. So he's thrilled at the opportunity to meet the man, the legend himself. He pulls out a couple wads and he's like, look, man, all the drinks are on me. And Rocky, he's reliving the glory days. Arliss was at this certain game. I think it's the one where he hit his 500th home run.
Yeah, this is where you might get up if you're Rocky Formaggio. Arliss even has his rookie card like in her suit jacket pocket. He carries it with him everywhere, Steve. But Formaggio's like he's sipping whiskey. He's like, I'm not turning down a good time. You're paying the bar tab, great. And then mid drink, he's like, you got any use for an old washed up Hall of Famer? He's trying to get a job, Steve, all fucked up. And Arliss, this is his hero, Steve. Like if Macho Man came up, he was just down on his luck, and he's like, "Oh, brother, let me get a job, brother." You know, and you're just like, "Dude, Macho, there's a lot of red flags here, but I'm gonna help you out. I got to."
Once a thoroughbred, always a thoroughbred, Matt.
This is Arliss's dream, though, Steve.
And then we cut back to Arliss's office. Rita's just like, I thought he was dead.
Guys, we're in the Rocky Formaggio business. Everyone's like, what? You mean that guy that got caught fingering himself in the bus station bathroom?
But Arliss is like, I will not allow the Rocky slander. And by the way, I invited Rock to the office so he can meet everyone. But Rita can't make it.
Everyone's like, you know what, dude? I got something to do. But, you know, Arliss is like, look, guys, there's Teflon politicians, right? So there's Teflon athletes. This guy's reputation, maybe it's a little bit tarnished. All I got to do is do a little spit shine, put a little elbow grease in it. We're going to clean this guy up. But Rita clearly is not. Rita's like, come on, dude.
He even has 3 job offers lined up already. And we see in the first one, Rocky is going to be doing play-by-play commentary. The first thing he says is, you know what? I just can't relate to today's ball, you know, but my arm was much stronger than Fat Boy over here. The other guy, he's like, he may approach one of your records. Yeah, that's because the game's gone to shit. Yeah, strike zones for pussies. Run, you fucking mook.
Let me tell you something about Mexicans. All right. But I like how the guy has to even explain what color commentary is. He's like in the like, all right, I'm gonna say something and then you say something.
Yeah.
But you know, Rocky's always got a little cup with him, Steve, and I don't think there's coffee in that cup. The second job, little bit easier, Steve.
Oh, yeah?
Just signing autographs. That's it. That's all you got to do. He's completely shit-faced here. He's at a table. He's halfway down that cup, whatever's in it. And the guy who's like, I guess owns the place he's signing autographs at is like, this guy's been taking fucking piss breaks every 5 minutes. He didn't sign shit. He just put a swastika on some kid's thing and just left and spit on him. So that's not going to work out too well. And this one might work, Steve. We get to the third job, and all it is shaking hands. Rocky's just at like the front of a casino, like, hey, I'm Rocky Formaggio. Good luck. Here's a free chip or whatever. And the guy's loving it. The casino owner's like, this guy's a fucking natural. This is fucking great.
He's the best I've ever seen. Look at him. That smile. He gives a firm handshake. He's looking in their eyes.
He didn't even fucking sexually harass anybody like the other guy that we had. But then, Steve, one of the high rollers at the casino comes up and is like, hey, man, like I got this chick I want to impress. So I'm going to bring her over. Just act like we are friends. Right? And Rocky's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Cool. I'll help you out. So the guy comes over again. But then he starts throwing major attitude. Like, yeah, me and Rocky are friends. Like, this guy's crazy. Like, hey, Rocky, remember when you used to suck? Remember when you used to just strike out constantly and I lost money on you?
Yeah. That stupid fried chicken chain you had? Yeah, that went to shit. And then remember those bimbos you married? Yeah. You had kids by him, you fucking loser.
So Rocky's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Like, oh, I'm sorry. What position did you play? And he starts getting shitty with them to the point where it escalates. And Rocky's like, you're just a fucking douchebag. Rips off this guy's toupee and just calls it a day, Steve. And that was the high roller. You know, that's the guy you can't insult. And so Rocky's done that. And I think these jobs, Steve, I don't know. Arliss, you got some work cut out for you.
It's a man unit. And then Arliss, he gets a call from Kirby. And we see Kirby sparring with this new chick, and she's got training in 2 weeks. We find out that they haven't done the waka waka in the bedroom in a while.
Yeah, but she's got to withhold, Steve. This is classic boxer mentality. I guess it's even the same for chicks. You can't bust. It lets out some of your essence. So no nookie for 2 weeks, which Kirby, you got to heal up that herpes sore. So I think that's probably a good call. Get some whatever. Get something on that.
They got creams for that.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. Like, you're fine. Also, Kirby tells Arliss, I think he calls him and is like, yo, you got to go to the stables, I think, because there's something fucked up with his horse.
His horse is going to the stud ranch. The owner, he says, it's all about bloodlines.
Arliss is like, wait, this one's never won anything. But the guy's like, yeah, but he's the grandson of Secretariat or something. So even if he's not good, he's got it. He's got greatness inside of him. We just got to milk it out of him, literally, Steve.
The heir apparent, yeah. We gotta milk his huge dong once he becomes a fully grown mare, or what's the stallion? Once he becomes a stallion, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of innuendo going on there, but this whole stud thing gets Arliss's wheels turning, Steve. He's like, wait, you can sell sperm? I got an animal that would love to just sell a little bit of sperm. So, new business idea. And this is where it took a little turn for me, Steve. I get selling the sperm, right? That exists. I've never seen QVC with the bus sales,
Hey,
vial of
90s.
jizz for $5,000? I mean, damn.
90s were a crazy time, man.
Got a vial of this guy's jizz for $5,000. He's a Hall of Famer. And even Arliss is on air, like, selling this. Like, you want a son that's going to knock dingers out of Mets Stadium someday? Get a turkey baster of this guy's juices.
Yeah. And Rocky's like, yeah, that's what they tell me. I just jerk off. And how did you guys come across this idea? Well, I wanted to give something back to the fans, and and I could work from home. I don't know why that was so funny.
He's really giving some to the fans, Steve.
Yeah.
Living his life. And honestly, I'm even surprised by this. They sell out, Steve.
They sell out.
They sell the fuck out. I mean, this goes, the red light special's done. They're out of jizz. Rocky's like, hey, guys, I'm tapped out. But I was like, whoa. Chill out. Like, we got more of this. He can make more. All right? He can make more.
Dude, I forgot when the callers are calling into the Home Shopping Network. And one guy's like, look, I saw Rocky pass out at the John at Fenway Park. Don't buy his sperm.
His jizz is fucking, that's bad jizz.
Yeah.
This guy's a fraud. But
Okay.
Steve, the jizz, they're selling like hotcakes. They got these, and I gotta also say, it's a pretty like substantial amount. The vial's huge. It's a metal vial of jizz that you get.
Yeah.
So that's official,
It's like a chemistry lab, but like with cum.
Yeah, I mean, but a great idea. I wish there was a market just for sperm at this. I wish the exchange rate for sperm was still this high, Steve. I know he's a Hall of Famer, but a guy like me, I mean, I'm a nice guy. I'm a handsome guy. I'll take $250 for a load. I'll go cheap. I feel like that's a good amount.
I mean, you're above 6 foot, and that's highly sought after. So you can tax even more.
500, Steve. Maybe 1,000. I mean, if 5,000 for an old washed up booze bag, like, surely my semen's worth 1,000.
And you don't even drink. Know your worth, Matt. Know your
You're
worth.
right. But I do smoke a heavy amount of weed, Steve. So those swimmers might not all be swimming the right way. But you know what? They don't need to know that.
They're enlightened, though.
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna get a PhD. It might not be a Hall of Famer, but
The third eye
You know,
will be
there we
blinking, though.
go. Yeah. Jizz sales aside, Steve, I know that it went well. And Arliss says Kirby wants to sell some of his jizz,
Yeah.
but it's got herpes simplex in it. So I don't know if they're going to buy that with you got that bump on your lips, Steve.
Maybe they'll put that in like the emergency like blue bin or something. But Kirby needs to have a one-on-one sesh with Arliss, and he just wants to share with his buddy. Like, hey man, I've already been without sex for 2 weeks. I have the worst blue balls, and I love her and everything, but I kind of hope she loses this next match, dude. You're rooting against your girl? Well, dude, if she wins this match, she'll get a title shot. And that'll probably be another whole year because she's going to be training for that. Like, man, I hope she takes the L.
Kirby's all about that snus, Steve. He can't be waiting.
Arliss is like, but why are you telling me this shit? Well, dude, I just wanted to share.
It just feels good to let it out, you know?
Yeah, that's all you need. I just need your ear.
Yeah. And again, if you need to sell some extra J, I got a lot saved up in these BBs. So let's go for that. Arliss leaves that weird conversation. Is like, all right, goes out, sees Rita on the phone, and it seems like Rita, you know, they're in the sports management business. She's talking about Costner. It seems like Rita's trying to get into Hollywood, Steve. Am I misreading that conversation, or am I right about that?
I thought I was misreading the conversation myself. Maybe we'll meet somewhere in the middle. I thought she was like trying to get some celebrities in on this whole sperm deal. Like, hey, you want the Denzel sperm? You want the Kevin Costner?
Oh my God. Do you know how much somebody would pay for Denzel's sperm, though, Steve?
Yeah.
At this point, you know, Hollywood's going down the tubes. You might want to call some of these guys up and just be like, look, guys, I think we got some kind of, might be able to get in some crypto at least on this shit.
It's like you're the middleman. They like, just give me the cut. Like Rita's just she's kind of like the madame of cum.
Actually, I like that better. Mine was boring. I was just like, oh, she's trying to represent celebrities. No, she's trying to get Kevin Costner's sperm. This chick's a fucking genius. This is Jeff Bezos.
Now the horse trainer calls, and we find out that Arliss's horse is sterile, so it can't even breed. Like there goes that whole Seabiscuit Secretariat dream.
Yeah, throw that shit to the glue factory, Steve. It can't even fuck right, let alone win a race. So it's out. I don't even know. We don't know what happens, but that's generally what happens, Steve. Glue factory, Jello factory to this thing.
And Rocky shows up. Arliss is just like, why aren't you at the lab? Dude, I can't do it. Dude, you sure? Like we had a copy of Fat Titties, Volume 7. Of course you can do it. It's like, no, dude, it's not about
man. That's 7. Fat Titties Volume 7?
7.
Yeah, dude. That's when they perfected it.
Dude.
See the minutes. Go into minute 30. You'll be able to jack it. I'm telling you. Those milkers, those big gnats. But Rocky can't do it, Steve. He can't jack it anymore. He can't. And it's not a matter of the batch. I mean, he can produce all day. This guy's like Peter North. He's a Hall of Famer. But he's like, you know what? Appreciate it. But all that shit I was saying about not respecting modern day baseball players, that was all bullshit. I was insecure. I thought I was washed up. And here's the thing. I actually got an offer after I did that little play-by-play thing. And I don't even know how anybody saw that. But regardless, apparently he gets a job offer to be a hitting coach for some team. So he's going to go legit. No more jacking it. No more handshakes. None of that, Steve. No more drinking. What worries me is having to go to rehab. He's being honest with the fans, Steve Arliss. He's getting to see behind the curtain.
And he's concerned that people will know. Like, I don't want people talking about Rocky Formaggio going to the clinic. He's like, what do you think other people think? Arliss says, I think it will help other people.
Now this is nothing. This is how people get out of trouble, is by saying, oh, you know what? I was messed up. I got to go to rehab. It's a thing. So Rocky, ahead of the curve on this. And even Arliss is like, look, man, I'll tell you what. I'm a fan. I'm going to negotiate this deal for you, and I'm going to have them put into the deal rehab, so you're not even going to have to pay for it. right? I'm going to take care of that for you, even though I'm not your agent. And I like how he throws agents under the bus. He's like, I don't want you dealing with an agent on this, getting all fucked up off of it. He knows what they're like. Rocky pulls out a ball, Steve. He's like, remember that night you saw me hit that home run? I hit that dinger in front of you? Here you go, kid.
It's like Mean Joe Green throwing the kid the jersey, for some Coca-Cola.
Whoa, thanks, Rocky Formaggio. There you go, kid. Dreams come true, Steve. Rocky no longer jacking off for money, no longer selling himself. He's back on the right path. And then we got to the outro. Kirby at his girlfriend. I love the girlfriend's name is Cheetah, by the way, Steve. Great name.
Wow.
There you go. He watches her get knocked out, Steve. Kirby's dreams come true. She gets a 10 count.
Back to the ill na. Now we're back at the office, and Stanley, he's complaining about this sperm venture and how it's going to cost them an upwards of, I think, $50,000.
Oh my God. Yeah, they spent so much on sperm decanters for this guy that he ain't going to fill, Steve. But here's my thing. Just fill them up. Somebody jack off into them and just sell them, Steve. Nobody's going to know. Rocky will be solid about it.
Yeah, this is still, 96? The DNA labs, they're not that advanced.
Yeah, you can sell these things. You get $5,000 for Kirby's sperm at this point. Herpes and all.
Hey, here's Michael Jordan's sperm. I don't know why he would make a donation, but here it is. But
we went to Gandhi's grave and stole some of his sperm. It's in here, like Jurassic Park. Do you want to have Gandhi's son?
And this one's a hybrid of MLK and Rodney Dangerfield. You want to try that out?
Yeah, we did some real crazy Mengele shit in the lab. We're just mixing shit. I got a tiger and Charlie. We really got tiger blood. This is Charlie Sheen and a tiger. So if you're willing to put that in your snooze, you might have some kind of weird Dr. Moreau baby. But
I hear you look like Charlie Sheen with tiger claws. Can I see him?
My baby's banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them. I don't know what to do here.
We cap it off with Arliss. He's in the office swinging, doing his practice swing like Rocky used to do. Rita comes in there and she's like, dude, are you okay? Arliss, you're such a fan.
You're a fan. Hey, why do you have that open decanter of jizz on your desk? And a napkin?
Giving him a test run.
Shot glass.
Taste samples. At the end, we overhear the commentary of Rocky's game, and he hits that 500th home run. Arliss, he's just reminiscing about those good old days.
Just a fan, Steve. What a great job to be if you're a sports fan, though. I mean, the dream, Steve. Selling your fucking idol's jizz. It's like if you met Hollywood Hogan back in the day and were like, listen, brother, I got a business venture for you. Thunder in Paradise. The jizz.
You could call this the new world order of sperm donation, brother.
New world order.
But for life. On that same day in 1996, Drew Carey Show is airing Season 2, Episode 4, The Bully You Know. Drew runs into old high school bully Simon Tate, guest star Norm MacDonald, at the Warsaw. Simon apologizes for how he behaved as a teenager and seems to have changed his ways. Drew gives an out-of-work Simon a job at Winfred-Louder, but he soon starts pushing everyone around like in the old days. Hilarity ensues.
Bullies be bullying, Steve.
They do be bullying.
This episode is kind of like a great example episode of why Drew Carey's great, because it's very over the top. Like, this show's willing to kind of go to a crazy area of comedy where, it's not like realistic in any way. And I think that's great. Heavy on the Mimi. So I think any Mimi heavy episode, you're going to get a lot,
Oh, yeah, man. One of the greatest beefs in sitcom history And speaking of the devil, we start the episode off with Mimi. She's on the phone conducting business, or her version of conducting business. And there's an older lady at her desk, and she's asking questions about with the whereabouts, where's this office, where, like, how do you get to the restroom? And Mimi's just impatient with her, per usual. Like, look, old lady, I got some work to do, so leave me the hell alone. Mr. Wick shows up, and we find out the old lady's his mom. His mum.
It's me, mother. Mother, there's some scotch under the whiskey in the room if you need it. So Wick sends his mom into his office, and he goes off on Mimi. He's like, I'm sick of the ridiculous attitude and the look. I like how he goes in on he's like, you look like a fucking circus whore clown thing. No one would respect you. Go home and change. And take off some of that makeup so you don't look so crazy.
Maybe we should call this Winfred-Louder and Bonham and Bailey.
Mimi doesn't take that well, Steve. She's like, you can't handle this. You can't handle all this woman, all this style, all this fucking pizzazz. You're boring. All these people, they don't care. They don't care like I care. I'm here ordering gallons of makeup from a company so I can shotgun it onto my face, okay? And come in here looking bright.
Look, you cannot conduct business on my behalf, looking like you do. As Mimi walks away, he's like, hey, Drew, what's the worst position in the store? Whoa, mine, boss.
Other than that, and he says he's like in the basement. He's something in the basement, like maybe a filer or something. She's off to the basement, Steve. But before she goes, Mimi, I love this, just straight flips the desk. She goes over to her desk and is like, fuck you. Bye.
Radio.
I want to do this. I wish I could do this. I wish I had the balls that Mimi had, Steve. Got a big old pair.
Brass cojones.
Then we get the theme song, kind of the mid version of the Drew Carey theme song. The more, what is it, like polka almost, right?
You could say that. Don't lose her in soul and moon over Parma tonight.
And then we're at the Warsaw, Steve, the old watering hole. The bartender's out, so Lewis is behind the bar. He's always wanted to do this, but he ain't very good at it, Steve. He is not a good bartender.
Oswald, go pick a fight so I can pull out the gun.
Kate comes in. She's like, you guys are bartending? And they're like, yeah, of course. She's like, okay, make me a gin and tonic. They don't even know what's in it, Steve. They're not winning cocktail competitions. Let's put it like that. Drew's there. Everybody's there. Drew kind of backs away from the bar, backs into just like this aggro looking fat dude who kind of looks like the guy from Saliva before the fame. You know what I mean? Like that weird band. But this is Cleveland, Steve. Shit gets heated at a bar in Cleveland every once in a while. He's like, you want me to fucking sock you in the mouth?
Yeah.
And a good Samaritan helps out Drew's. He's like, look, man, the good Samaritan's Norm MacDonald, guys. But he's like, here, you know what? This is crazy. Have my beer. You know, it's cool. Tones down the situation a little bit.
Either Drew or Simon, who recognized the other, he's like, wait, it's Simon Tate. Dude, you used to bully me. You used to give me wedgies and make me smell my own shit stains. Dude, Oswald Lewis, y'all remember him?
And I love Oswald's like, yeah, I remember him. And Simon's like, you don't look familiar to me. And Oswald like turns around and is like, oh, help me. Oh, yeah, Oswald. Hell yeah. Nice. So Simon was a terror, Steve.
And Lewis says, I can still taste that urinal cake.
Kate was flatsy also. I mean, this guy got them all, you know.
Looks like you got a little something there. I wish I could do a good Norm.
That's all I could do. It's like my Ray Romano. It's just a noise. It's not actually words.
Yeah.
But Simon apologizes, Steve. He's like, it's my bad. I was acting up, and I truly apologize. Like he's being nice about it, right? He's trying to make amends.
Life's humbled him. He was in Cali. He even did a stint in the army. Then his mom took a fall, so he came back home, and she's lost her faculties. And by the way, he's actually on punishment.
And also, he says something about not having a lot of money, and I like Lewis is like, "Oh, so you're poor?" Yes.
Yeah.
Just
that.
being petty. So Simon's actually at the Warsaw, not to like hang out. He's trying to apply as just to be a bar back, basically. He just needs some money.
And he's like, dude, I think I got it. Then we cut to the bar, and the bartender just like Larry Birds that shit in the trash. Like, I appreciate how the bartender is like fat and sloppy and like greasy looking, because like it makes it seem like authentic, like a Cleveland watering hole. Like that's what you would see behind the bar. Somebody who looks like sloppy with like bologna slice titties.
Just sweat under his titties too. Just stink. So yeah, Drew's like, you know what, man? I think I got a great idea. I know a job opening. We got to get a secretary job filled at Winfred-Louder. You'd probably be great at it. And turns out Simon took secretary classes, Steve. He's a typist. He's got it all. He knows how to use Excel.
And Drew, he listens to that good conscious side of his shoulder. He's got a change of heart. He actually feels sorry for Simon.
Drew's been living in fear and terror for years of this guy. Now he's helping him out get a job. So cut to Winfred-Louder. Mimi's been banished to the basement. Nobody's seen her for a week. The filings are just in shambles. I forget the name of the little black security guard, but they're looking for me. He's like, I think she's in the air ducts. Yeah. Mimi's like controlling the build. She's like a little mole person that's living in the sewers, basically.
You can only communicate with her through that like bank teller tube.
And the power goes off. And he's like, oh, God, she's in the fuse box. I got to go. So he rushes off to fix that problem. Simon's talking to Drew. He's like, man, I'm feeling like the big man on campus again. I'm popular. Everyone loves me. This is great. It's like high school.
It
is pretty good. I'm close, Steve.
You stumbled upon that one. You're like, work on that. Like, let's stick it.
Yeah.
Stay around that area.
Okay. You know, it's also working out because Mr. Wicks basically like, it's just nice not to walk out of my office and see Clown Baby every day. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, Pennywise. That's frightening. I don't need to start my day off looking at that.
But a couple red flags as, you know, all this is happening. It seems like everything's going pretty well. You know, Drew hooked up with this dude with a job, but Drew looks over. The bullying's starting to come back. He's feeling like his old self, and all that negative stuff's coming back too, Steve, because Simon's starting to bully people.
And we overlooked the fact that at this point, Mr. Wick is actually taking a liking to Simon. He's fun, he's vibrant. He's lit. Yeah, hey, Carrie, hey, keep this guy around, Carrie.
Yeah. Simon's instilling himself, but you see the bullying. He charges a janitor like $1 to get into Mr. Wick's office, and Drew's like, "Oh man, like, what are you doing?" He's like, I'm just playing around. Like, I'm gonna give him his $1 back. It's fine. And Drew's like, give it to him now. He's like, no. You wouldn't want to ruin my fun, would you? And it starts getting like intimidating where he's like, you want to ruin my fun? Carrie?
Yeah. I tease him. He laughs. Kate comes in there and she says, there's Mimi sightings all over the store.
And Drew's like, what are you talking about? But turns out Mimi also hacked his computer. It's like the Nedry thing. She's like, ha ha ha. It's like a weird 3D Mimi head. This woman's like a technological terror too. So she's all over the place, Steve.
Max Headroom, if you will. She basically made herself like a Windows 95 screensaver.
Hey, Carrie.
As Drew is looking at this, he turns around and Mimi has like an alligator on the leash, but come to find out it was all a dream.
I think Mimi probably does have an alligator on a leash at home, but yeah, this was all a dream, Steve. She used to read Word Up magazine. Yeah. But as he's coming to and realizing that was a dream, he hears Mimi's voice, Steve, and she's like, Drew, it's like a ghost. She's like haunting him at this point. But then he realizes that it's actually coming out from that like bank pipe thing that they have with like whatever that is. The Tommy Boy thing where you send shit. Whatever that's called.
She purposely like murmurs her words, but she's like, hey, Drew. Hey, Drew. But hey, I can't hear you. Can you come a little closer? Hey,
That was sad.
and then as he puts his ear up to the little tube, she shoots up hot coffee at his face.
He throws a nice hot coffee down at her. He's like, yeah, it's okay here. And he throws a little, you hear her scream. So little back and forth there. Even in not in the same room, Drew and Mimi are fucking with each other. Imagine if what came up that pipe, Steve, was her dirty panties. That's what I was thinking. Like, what if she really went gross with it?
I take the
Or
hot coffee.
sexy with it. Yeah. It's a little more sanitary, I feel like. But Simon shows up and this is like straight out of high school. He's got like 8 candy bars in his hand. He's just munching on them. And Drew's like, hey man, are those my candy bars? Are those my desk candy? Are those my personal candy bars? He's like, no.
Nope. Hey, I'll tell you this though. I'll let you watch them while I go to the John. And if anyone touches them, heads are gonna roll. Oh God.
So Drew's now like, all right, I think this was a fucking mistake. And we think like, Mr. Wick's all on board with this Simon guy, like per what he said earlier. But he comes out and he's like, Simon, is he here? Is he gone? And it turns out Mr. Wick's like very intimidated by Simon too. He's like, this guy is a fucking menace, Carrie. You gotta get rid of this fucking guy.
But why don't you fire him? You're the boss. Yeah, I'd love to fire him, but you'll have to. I've got 2 slender wrists. Get Mimi back here.
And he needs it because also what Simon's he's not doing any filing either. So he's like, the files are messed up. Everything is a disaster. This guy's just fucking charging people $1 to get into my office. Shit's all messed up. And then Simon just rides past them both on like a tricycle. He's like, yeah.
I love it.
He's loving the new gig, Steve. And then we cut to Drew's backyard. And Oswald and Lewis are introducing Drew's like handicap dog, Speedy or whatever, to the neighborhood dogs. It turns out, Steve, Speedy doesn't need all of his legs to just get to humping because he's doing a lot of damage, it sounds like, from the description.
As long as that pelvis area still works. I didn't know Speedy could do it on wheels. Well, I'm never letting that dog lick my face again. Yeah, so when they make it back into the kitchen, they're just simply telling Drew, just fire him. You're his boss. Bullies are cowards. Plus, man, I think you could beat his ass, Drew. Like, yeah, he's a punk.
You're a wrecking machine.
Yeah.
Just ask everybody at the buffet line, Drew. You're like the juggernaut. Once you get going, you can't be stopped. So he's all built up. I do like when he walks in, he's like, here's my impersonation of a guy making good decisions. And it's like, I forget what he does with it. He's just dejected, Steve. But he gets built up. He gets rockied up. He's like, you know what? You guys are right, dude. Honestly, like, I'm probably just about to wrap my fists in fucking tape and just beat this guy's ass Street Fighter style. I can have one of these buzz beers real quick and just think about it.
And we get back to the office. Simon, he's just dripping coffee right in front of the janitor. The same one that he was charging $1 to get in Mr. Wigg's office.
Oops, missed the spot. What a dick, dude. That's crazy. I mean, the janitor should have whacked him one, but even the janitor's intimidated, Steve. He's just cleaning it up, just like a chode. Now, Drew, he's getting messages from Mimi of the underworld. Drew finally stands up to Simon. He's like, you know what, dude? I'm not afraid of you anymore. Like, I'm your boss. So you need to chill the fuck out with this. You're fired. Like, that's it. They cut to like the steps down, like into the basement. Drew just gets thrown down the steps, Steve. He's still got them hands too, apparently.
Jazzy Jeff style. Now that he's in the basement, he sees a clown head and he thinks it's Mimi. It's like, oh shit. And then he turns around and it's Mimi on her computer.
It's like the Phantom of the Opera, Steve. She's down here just living her best life down in this basement. And it's been a while. So Drew, he's talking to Mimi, telling her about how Simon was a coward and whatnot. But he just beat me so hard. I stood up to him and he just beat me so fucking hard. Drew needs that pit bull, Steve. He's got a pit bull in the basement. He just needs to unleash it, you know?
He's giving her these offers. Mimi wants a 50% raise. She even wants 3 extra vacay days. And after Drew obliges, she's like, it's still not enough. Look, Drew, you don't know what it's like to be treated like a leper. And Drew's like, of course I do.
Let me let you in on something, all right? When I was a kid, I was in this like nativity thing, and I was too fat to have like a shepherd's costume, so the shepherd's costume didn't cover my ass. So I was just like walking around ass out, fat. He shares this whole sad story about him being a fat kid. Meanwhile, Mimi, the ultimate bully, that little pipe that she's been using to communicate, she's got that open. She also has the PA system completely on. So everyone in the store is listening to Drew like, yeah, they called me badass. Do you know what that's like?
Yeah.
Do you know what that's like? My little pimply ass out? She might be the greatest bully of all time on TV, Steve. And looking the way she does, I think that's great. Almost. It's fitting.
She has an intimidating look, that's for damn sure. Like Drew, he finds out that the whole office just overheard him and he's got. That's the end of that episode. In the closing credits, Mimi, she can't go to bed. And then she realizes her routine. So she just dreams about Drew Carey in a sheep costume, just jumping over the fence, counting sheep, I guess. Drew sheep.
And his ass is hanging out like his story. And I like how Drew stops. He's like, I'm just getting tired. Can't you just take a pill or something?
Man.
Even in her dreams, Drew's just ultimate fat, Steve. But that's it. And like I said, I feel like the over-the-top nature of this show, like they kind of leaned into the weirdness a little bit more than other sitcoms. And I like that. They did a lot of cool, like, one-off or, like, crazy things on this show that other people, especially, I mean, nobody was kind of doing, like, the, find the mistake episodes and stuff like that. But even stuff like this, they kind of veer off into a weird territory. But hell yeah, dude. Drew Carey, another good one.
You know who probably didn't watch either of these episodes in 1996, Matthew?
Mm-hmm.
Probably American actor Jason Bernard. He would pass away at the age of 58.
Jason Bernard?
Jason Bernard. He was actually in the pilot of White Shadow, but we know him in the 90s as the judge in Liar Liar.
Oh, hell yeah.
And Herman's Head, he was the boss, the no-nonsense boss in Herman's Head.
That guy's cool, Steve. Very authoritative dude. He had that like deep baritone voice.
In a no-nonsense kind of look. That's why he was a judge. That's why he was a boss in a sitcom. And it seems like we lost him the same way we lost Macho Man. He was driving, and then all of a sudden, while he was driving, he had a heart attack. And, once you have a heart attack while you're driving, that's just like a domino effect of other bad things. The same thing happened with Macho Man, where his heart gave out. He ends up running into a tree, which took his life. R.I.P. to Jason Bernard.
R.I.P. Jace. Love your work.
In 1998, Bride of Chucky premieres. Chucky, the doll possessed by a serial killer, discovers the perfect mate to kill and revive into the body of another doll. Directed by Ronnie Yu, starring Jennifer Tilly, Brad Dourif, Katherine Heigl, Nick Stabile, and John Ritter.
I forgot John Ritter was in this.
Same.
I like John Ritter, kind of a scumbag, villainish. You don't get that a lot. I mean, it wasn't really. He's kind of a villain. Obviously not the main one. He's just kind of a scumbag. Honestly, I like the older ones more. I respect this where they kind of understood what they had and they went away from the more, I mean, there's horror stuff in this. People die horrifically and whatnot, but they veered into like the comedy of it.
They definitely leaned into the goofiness of the premise. Like, for one, there was a doll sex scene. And this was years before Team America came out. They're actually like trying to be romantic. They showing silhouettes. And I think they even had some like Kenny G music playing in the background. Like, what are we doing, Ronnie?
I like the behind the curtain, like silhouette sex that's going on, but still it's Chucky's voice. But you get to see Jennifer Tilly sexy as all hell. A 90s Jennifer Tilly, Steve. It's the body plus the voice.
That's
it's
so
the total
true.
package.
Oh yeah.
We even get Alexis Arquette in this movie playing not a transgender character, just a sexed up goth dude, which was shocking. And
That
weird.
was oh wow,
That
that
was
was the
Alexis
first.
Arquette, bro. The first
Wow,
death in this shit.
I totally did not clock that. Damn. Wow.
Yeah, giving it up. There's a lot of fun to be had in this movie. A lot of ridiculousness. Like basically Chucky gets brought back by Jennifer Tilly, who's still a human at the beginning of this, but then whenever he won't agree to marry her, I think, as like a doll or whatever, he kills her and then puts her into a body of another doll. So we got two dolls. They're running amok. Then they want to put their souls into the bodies of these young nubile teen kids that are in love, one of which is the chick from Knocked Up. Yeah, exactly. Katherine Heigl.
Yeah.
Who's
kind of canceled these days for whatever reason. I
think she's just a bitch, I think is what I think the overall thing is. Like people just don't dig it. But John Ritter's like her really just like over the top, like not even protective uncle. He's just like, you're not getting laid. I'm taking care of you. You're my niece. He cares too much, but he gets his. And at the end of the day, Steve, this is honestly what I think when you watch a Chucky, you want. A lot of comedy, a lot of Chucky. We don't need to explain a lot. There's no Andy Barclay. There's none of that. They reference an amulet for some sort of shit that Chucky's involved with, like that's on his dead body. But other than that, it's just a lot of fun kills. Sexy Jennifer Tilly, even some puppet sex. I mean, what more could you want out of a movie, you know?
With some Final Destination like fatalities. On that same day in 1998, Happiness premieres. The lives of several individuals intertwine as they go about their lives in their own unique ways, engaging in acts which society as a whole might find disturbing in a desperate search for human connection. Directed by Todd Solondz, starring Jane Addams, Elizabeth Ashley, Dylan Baker, Lara Flynn Boyle, Ben Gazzara, Jared Harris, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Louise Lazar, John Lovitz, and Cynthia Stevenson.
You can't recommend this movie, I don't feel like. Really fucked up. I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, there's molestation out in the open, a guy openly jerking off to kids' magazines. Philip Seymour Hoffman can't get laid, and he's calling up chicks, busting on the phone, saying crazy shit on the phone.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
The kid who's like dad is the child molester won't masturbate, so there's that. Yeah. I mean, these are all just storylines that are just like nuts. John Lovitz gets cucked out and goes off on a bitch and calls her shit. You think I'm shit and you're champagne. You're wrong. I'm champagne and you're shit.
The dad trying to like Bill Cosby the kid, his son's buddy. Like, I can't believe that. Yeah, he does accomplish that. And like the kid wakes up the next day, he's got bloody stool. I can't believe this movie was on YouTube, Matt.
That same character who molests kids has a dream where he goes into a park and just shoots everyone. Like, but it's like they show it. I mean, they show him do it. So now I'm really surprised it's on YouTube because of that. Because a lot of the gun violence we see now is that they just show it. It's one of those things where I don't think this guy made this to be, he made it to be shocking, but I don't know who funded this. I don't know how you write this. I don't know how you edit this because everything in it, it's a bum out. Everything's a bum out. The only like wholesome thing in the movie is Philip Seymour Hoffman meeting that Cameron Manheim chick who's like a big girl. And they sort of like find each other a little bit and like we see them like connect. But other than that, it's like guy molests a kid. There's a scene where that guy's son comes and he basically makes his dad tell him about all the molestings and stuff. It's insane. It's a crazy movie. I mean, I remember watching this when we were in college at some point and just being like, what the there's just no way to walk away from this and be like, yeah, it's a good movie. You just feel dirty inside.
Yeah, man. It makes you want to take a shower afterwards. And then nothing happens to the dad. Like he confesses to his son, and then that's the end. Matt, you warned me about this movie before I watched it. I see why. Like this movie is actually ranked number 19 on Premiere Magazine's list of 25 most dangerous movies.
Todd Solondz. I don't
This is-
remember everything this guy made, but I think he's sort of like a Harmony Korine type,
Yeah,
where he's
that's
going
what I-
for the shock a little bit. But I mean, you know, credit to somebody who can actually make a movie that makes some kind of sense. It's just a bunch of vignettes of fucked up people's lives that somehow, like, some of them kind of come together a little bit. But it's just a downer all the way around. If you want to watch something where you're just like, Jesus Christ, that maybe I'm right. Humanity is just fucked. You know,
Yeah.
This is it. Because while it's called happiness, I think the reason they call it that is like it's basically about the things that bring the people in this movie happiness, but everything that brings these people happiness is fucked. Nobody's
Everything.
happy. They're all psychos.
Any callbacks, honorable mentions, canker sores, bum bumps?
Well, this is just sort of giving some good news to people that I saw. They're going to be doing like some sort of restoration of the Ninja Turtles, the original trilogy, Steve. And we're going to get some like remasterings of this where I'm looking forward to it because I guess there was like a significant length documentary about the making of that movie that we've never really gotten to see. And I think that's going to be included in it. And I think, you know me, I love watching those behind the scenes things anyway. I think seeing the whole process of making, especially the first one, got to be interesting, dude. All the problem solving they had to do to make that happen. Really, I hope that that's included in the movies. And I saw that the other day on YouTube. And I was like, okay, well, you got my money. Whatever that's going to cost, I'm buying that.
Yeah, man. I might do the same.
And a quick aside, Steve, we've been bringing up the fact that I used to have a significant DVD collection. I'm going to every thrift store I can find, and I'm going to recreate my DVD collection, Steve. You can buy 30 DVDs for $20 now.
Yeah.
So I'm making it someday. Someday behind me is going to be all those DVDs again, Steve.
Got to make it happen.
Salute. What about you?
In 1993, no, in 1992, Dinosaurs is airing Network Genius, and that has a cameo by Jason Alexander. He plays like a television exec, and that's great, as you can imagine. And on that same day in 92, Family Matters is airing Rumor Has It, and this one always stands out because Laura's dating this guy named Ted Curran, and Urkel overhears how Ted Curran, he made it past third base, and Urkel calls him out like, dude, that's bullshit. And, you know, he tells Laura, and Laura just thinks he's jealous. But eventually she finds out the truth, and Eddie wants to kick his ass. She apologizes to Urkel, and yeah, all is good. You hear the TGIF music, headed to the weekend. Yeah. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister that if big titties were cure for cancer, she'd be a miracle worker. Check out Food Show Fanatics, Crushgasm every Wednesday with Kendra G, our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle, and Wrestling with Ronzilla on TikTok. This is Steve G and Matt G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the flat kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
I feel about you.